Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and anyone else. Good to see you guys. Sort of. That light is like, seriously, I could put a toaster strudel right here and it'll be ready by the time I'm done. I don't know why a toaster strudel specifically, but that exactly. For you, Chris Gilpin. I am Mike McGee, and I'm not thin. But if I were, I'd be the thinnest man this side of the NBA. I'd wake up each morning with a smile on my face while singing songs in the shower by Skinny Puppy and Thin Lizzy as I lathered up into an emaciated frenzy. I'd be thinner than thin. I'd wear a skinny tie to work and drink decaffeinated coffee with skim milk. I would be a thin bastard. No! I would be the thinnest bastard, looking for other thin bastards to give a bony handshake to. And me and my thinness would travel the world around spreading joy and celery. And I would call up Tom Cruise just to say, "You've put on some weight." The world would love me if I were thin. They'd want to be thin right along with me, and I teach them all how to be thin with my thin handbook. And we'd do thin things and eat thin things while going to thin places. And when one of us saw something we liked, we'd get the skinny on it. But I'm not thin. I've been hit on by more overweight people than I have thin people. Maybe they know something I don't. But for now, I don't need to be thin, and I'm cool with anyone who is. I'm also not gay. But if I were, I'd be the gayest man this side of San Francisco. I'd wake up each morning with a smile on my face while singing show tunes in the shower as I lathered up into a homosexual frenzy. I'd be gayer than gay. I'd wear a rainbow tie to work and drink coffee with my pinky out. It would be a gay pinky. No! It would be the gayest pinky, looking for other gay pinkies to give handjobs to. And me and my gayness would travel the world around spreading joy and condoms. And I would call up Tom Cruise just to say, "Come out and play." The world would love me if I were gay. They'd want to be gay right along with me, and I teach them all how to be gay with my gay handbook, and we do gay things and eat gay things while going to gay places. And when one of us saw something we liked, we'd say, "That is so gay." But I'm not gay. I've been hit on by more gay men than I have straight women. Maybe they know something I don't. But for now, I don't need to be gay, and I'm cool with anyone who is. I am, however, Mike McGee. And thanks. And because of this, I'm the best Mike McGee I know. I wake up most mornings with drool on my face, and I sing my own songs in the shower as I lather up into a Mike McGee frenzy. I'm Miker than Mike. I don't wear a tie to work, and I'm all right with coffee. But fuck latte, fuck espresso, fuck Starbucks, fuck you, fuck me, which rhymes well with Mike McGee. And me and my Mike McGee-ness should travel around the world spreading joy and leftovers, if there are any. And I should call up Tom Cruise just to say, "Holy shit, you answered." Now, the world doesn't have to love Mike McGee, and no one wants to be Mike McGee with me, but I could teach you all how to be me with my Mike McGee handbook, and we would do Mike things and eat Mike things while we're at my house. And when one of us saw something we liked, we'd say, "I like that." I am Mike McGee, and I've never been hit on by Mike McGee. Maybe I know something I don't. But for now, I don't need to be anybody else, because I'm pretty fucking cool with Mike McGee. Thank you. I totally agree, you guys. I totally agree right now. I'm just gonna say right off the bat, Sherry D, you are the patron saint of spoken word for all of North America. I assure you, you are. Thank you for this. Thank you. It's a love poem. It's a love poem. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Dear Neil Armstrong, I write this to you as she sleeps down the hall. I need answers that I think only you might have. When you were a boy and space was simple science fiction, when flying was merely a daydream between periods of history and physics, when gifts of moon dust to the one you loved could only be wrapped in your imagination, before the world knew your name and before it was a destination, what was the moon like from your backyard? Your arm, strong, warm, wrapped across her shoulders, both of you gazing up from your back porch, summers before your distant journey. But upon landing on the moon, as the earth rose over the sea of tranquility, Did you look for her? I mean, what was it like to see our planet, know that everything you could be, all you could ever love and long for was just floating before you? Did you, by any chance, happen to write her name in the dirt when the cameras weren't looking, or surround both of your initials with a heart for alien life to study 1,000,000 years from now? What is it like to love someone so distant? What words did you use to bring the moon back to her, and what did you promise in the moon's ear about the girl back home? Can you teach me how to fall from the sky? I ask you this not because I doubt your feet. I just want to know what it's like to go somewhere no man had ever been, just to find out she wasn't there. To realize your moonwalk could never compare to the steps that led to her. I now know that the flight home means more. And every July I think of you. I imagine the summer of 1969, how lonely she must have felt while you were gone. You never went back to the moon. And I believe that's because it doesn't take rockets to get you where you belong. I see that in this woman down the hall, and sometimes she seems so much further, but I'm ready for whatever steps I must take to get to her. I've seen so many skies, and the moon always looks the same. So I gotta say, Neil, that rock you landed on ain't got shit on the rock she's landed on. You walked around, took samples and left, but she's built a fire, cleaned up the place. And I hope she decides to stay. Because on this rock, we can both breathe. Mr. Armstrong, I don't have much. Many times have I been upside downtrodden, but with these empty hands comes a heart that is full more often than the moon. She's becoming my world, pulling me into orbit, and I now know I may never find life outside of hers, so I want to give her everything that I don't have yet. So yes, for her, I would go to the moon and back. But not without her. I mean, why? When we could claim the moon for each other with flags made from sheets down the hall, and I'd risk it all to kiss her under the light of earth, the brightness of home, but I can do all of that and more right here wherever she is. And when we gaze up with her arms around me, I will not promise her gifts of moon dust or flights of fancy. Instead, I will gladly give her all the earth she wants in return for all the earth she is. The sound of her heartbeat and laughter, and all the time it takes to learn to fall from the sky, down the hall, and right into love. Man, I would do it every day if I can just land next to her. 5, 4, 3, 2, one small step for a man, but she's one giant leap for my kind. Woo. Thank you. Speaking of squirrels, 2 squirrels are sitting at a bar, and one turns to the other and says, "I fucked your mom last night." The other squirrel says, "Go home, Dad, you're drunk." It gets everyone every time. Take that one to Grandma. You're welcome. So I'm sitting at a bar writing poems, and this lady starts chatting me up, and I'm just totally oblivious, and it finally occurs to me that she's hitting on me, and by the time it dawns on me, she gets up to leave, and I'm like, where are you going? And she's like, "Well, I have to get home to feed my cat." And I'm thinking, your cat's fine. It'll survive a night without you. She says, "Oh, he can't be alone overnight." I tell her I feel the exact same way all the time. And I have something to offer the world. She says her cat is special. Sounds like he says Reno when he meows. Reno? As in Reno, Nevada? She says, "Yep, emphatically, Reno." All the time? So I imagine a cat saying Reno. 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 Reno, Nevada. All the time, as in every time it meows, it sounds like it's saying Reno. No, only every once in a while, like when he's really craving attention or he needs to be brushed. Oh, I say. Oh. I tell you that when I'm craving attention, I remove my shirt, exposing my Katharine Hepburn-shaped birthmark, and I make it talk. "Hello, everybody. Got any more tequila?" I think it's from a movie. Look, lady, by now you must realize I'm human, and I have needs, and I can love you, actually love you. I'm not jumping the gun here, but I am capable of real, actual human love. Not this programmed, feline, you're the keeper of the food, so I guess I'll stick around bullshit. Does your cat have the ability to make an entire room laugh without it having anything to do with its own failure? Can your cat use a QWERTY keyboard? Does your cat know how to code even a modicum of HTML? Can your cat Photoshop images of you to look like you have a handlebar mustache? I don't think so. I can do half of those things while I have soup cooking on the stove. See these thumbs? Huh? Huh? Do you? Do you really? Because these mean I win. You're right, she said coyly. And we boned right there at Taco Bell. 9 months later, we had 8 kittens. They run my website now. Thank you. All right. Can I get a little heavy on you guys? I mean, I'm already heavy. You know what I mean? That's awful. That's awful. This is a poem I wrote for poets and anyone who's ever gone on tour, everyone who's ever felt lonely, like you're out in the world and you're just alone. What? Is that funny? Laughing at my pain? Thanks, ladies. No, that's cool. Whatevs. Yeah, I know. Me too. Wait. That doesn't make sense. Anyhow. Yeah. This is called On Pitting All of Your Achievements Against Your Loneliness. You will initially write about it against the audible backdrop of Sigur Rós, Bon Iver, and maybe even something more poppy. You'll know before the first word that it will look like instructions on filling a void, but it won't work no matter. Keep writing. You'll get up to smoke, to refill your coffee, something to stay awake, to prove to this cafe that you are a fully functioning writer and no longer the layabout loiterer you once were. You'll wish for a split second that the barista would touch the inside of your palm just a little too long as they give you change from the bagel and lox you didn't really need, but you've been sitting here a while with nowhere to go. You do loiter better than most. This cafe can never know that you've run out of people to love, or the ones you've loved were just faster than you. You try to catch up. You feel guilty for the voice you chose to write it all in. And so I changed that voice midway through to own it all, to claim this as my loneliness. Maybe I just don't want to be the only one crying in this cafe. I wish someone would notice. Maybe they'd come hold me. That would make me love living a little more. Maybe someone will Twitter about the little fat man crying against the window. Maybe I can teach them something about being in touch with one's emotions in public. I am meant to travel. I am a late blooming vagabond. What if I told you that at every show, I am looking for a mouth to kiss, to resuscitate some life back into this tongue? One of these days, I'm gonna jump off the stage, find the one who's listened the hardest and be alive to their alive, mouth to mouth. I'm gonna pull them into my body and kiss them just for listening and for making enough eye contact with me to prove to me that they know what the hell I'm talking about and that they give a shit about me and themselves for now. I'm tired of feeling guilty for wanting to be a lover and thought about the way I think of others. I don't remember bargaining off companionship, trading it away for eating alone in provinces and states a little less united the more I visit. Can you have a life spent writing about life? Can you really have a lover after being so hooked on longing? Lover, I miss you. And I'm sorry I missed you. I've made so many mistakes with you, all of you. I've been spending too much time lately trying to trade all these plane tickets printed on broken glass for your hands on my neck, working my muscles. You say you're so tense, you carry everything in your shoulders. Yes, I do. And I drag most of it behind me in this rolling suitcase. You know me well. This is no life. No one told me writers should not practice accounting. And I can't tell you how many laughs or moments of understanding I've had with strangers, but I've got them all crammed into this cabinet I was told to put love in. They don't belong there, but it's better than empty, better than nobody. And all it ever takes for me to not step in front of a bus on purpose is the slightest, vaguest memory of someone else's compassion and understanding toward me or anyone else. The image of being held one last time by paramedics who want me to live is unpaintable, but I'd buy it off the wall from this cafe right now if it would love me back. So I have to rely on my sense of humor, like when I was young and intentionally ugly. Everybody wants to be appealing. Everybody needs to be noticed at some point. So here I am, slightly ugly dude, reminding you that you ain't ugly. We always go back to when we were our ugliest, when we should celebrate our most necessary selves. So it is high time we do everything we can to see people like me against the cafe window. People like you, people who look just like you. You can no longer be the furthest seat away from us on the train. Your iPod cannot ever be the friend that I am. I see you. I see you all, and I am so sorry for not paying more attention. Let's invite everyone over to make playlists of our best and our worst moments. We'll call them our favorite songs. Let's dance and sweat through those songs so it looks like we are fighting our bodies to cry it out together. Let us make out with each other like bandits. 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. Let us be together. Let us be together. Let us banish loneliness together.